Did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
The combat sports world has exploded with reactions after Dana White publicly demanded that Jake Paul withdraw from the Anthony Joshua matchup. And this time, it wasn't Dana's usual trash talk. He came out firing. White made it clear he's fed up with Jake and isn't holding anything back, especially now that Paul is stepping into a level of danger Dana never imagined he'd actually accept. Jake is preparing to face one of the most physically imposing and accomplished heavyweights alive, an athlete who's still competing at the top of the division, still explosive, and still very much in his prime. From Dana's perspective, this isn't showmanship anymore. It's Jake Paul gambling with a fighter who can end the night with a single punch.
I look forward to facing off with Joshua. To break down the face-off, what do you think about his size? Did you say anything? Did he say anything?
No, we didn't say anything, but he looks intense, focused, locked in. He's obviously very, very tall. Looking up, my tallest opponent. My eyes are at his, chest level. But yeah, he's locked in. I'm locked in. I don't think there's fear in his eyes or in my eyes.
Yeah, Jake, tell us the difference between your face-off with Gervonta, where you're a head taller looking down, and now looking up at Joshua.
No, it's surreal. All of it is very, very funny, and my neck started to hurt after looking up for a little bit. But this is what we signed up for, and he's very tall, but that means I can use my speed and my size to my advantage as well.
This question's for Joshua. Oscar De La Hoya, Nate Diaz, and Tyson Fury all said that Jake is going to knock you out. Would you be willing to take the bet with Tyson Fury that's saying that Jake is going to beat you?
No, I'm not worried about what Tyson Fury's got to say. That's what I'm saying. It ain't even about the money. I'm betting on myself. Yep. I'm focusing on myself. I'm fully betting on myself. I ain't worried about what anyone's got to say.
He did say he's going to put £1 million on it. Would you be willing to take that bet with Tyson Fury?
Respectfully, I'm not worried about what Tyson Fury's got to say, or I'm not here for any of that betting and nonsense. I'm here to fight, and that's all it is. But once I get the job done, I'm going to collect my check, cash it, and I'm going to focus on the next one. My bet is on me doing a number on him. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. And for Jake, Tyson Fury's willing to put £1 million on you to win. How does it make you feel that his brother Tommy won't even fight you for $10 million?
A lot of people in this sport, believe it or not, are actually bitch made. Anthony can attest to that.
That's correct.
That's why we're up here on this stage, because we're both always down to run it and throw hands. Tommy's, lost. He's a lost puppy. No one watches his fights. I'm the only thing that he's got, so he should be on his knees begging for the fight. We did offer him it, and he said he wanted more time. So we tried. We've been trying. Same with KSI. These guys just don't want to step up to the plate. I'm not afraid of anyone or anything. So I'll go to the bigger challenge, a bigger fight, and do bigger things with Joshua, and that's why we're here today.
There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look. A bit chubby, a bit bulky.
Wanted to give a little opinion on everything I've been seeing on social media lately. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Just wanted to come in here and remind everybody that bum couldn't beat me when I basically had a broken hand. I had one hand and he still lost. Jake Paul, I'm still your daddy, and everybody weighing this fight up, don't bother, because he ain't worth a shilling. And the loss will always be there, Mr. Paul. Take it easy and have a good day.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ,
Pat Brown.
I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. history. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world, make the fight.
Dana White has spent years saying Jake Paul only targets safe opponents, retired MMA fighters, smaller guys, or low-risk names. He's repeatedly dismissed Jake as someone who avoids real boxers and refuses to take genuine challenges. But the moment Jake signs on to face Anthony Joshua, a full-sized, active, two-time world heavyweight champion, Dana's entire tone flips. Suddenly is urging Jake to pull out. Now the fight is too dangerous. Now it's reckless. Now Jake is way over his head. And that sudden shift is exactly why the fight community is calling him out. For years, Dana argued Jake would never face someone his own size with real boxing credentials. Yet when Jake finally does the very thing Dana demanded, Dana immediately claims the matchup is absurd and that Paul is walking into a beating to many fans. It looks less like concern and more like Dana being caught in his own contradictions.
This is a top 50 or 60 cruiserweight in the world stepping up and fighting a top, I mean, even if you want to be really critical, top 10, but I think top 5 heavyweight in the world. So it would be unthinkable. I mean, both AJ and myself would need to retire from the sport if we got beat against Jake Paul. But it ain't happening.
The professional bout will consist of 8 3-minute rounds and both fighters will wear regulation 10-ounce gloves. Spencer, you are a boxer. For real, should this guy be anywhere near Joshua?
God help Jake Paul, that's all I can say. We saw that what Anthony Joshua had done to Francis Ngannou. He went out there and iced him in a couple of rounds. A guy coming from a different discipline. Well, this kid's coming from another level. You know, white-collar boxing in 2018, gone through the mill, and the only boxer really that he's actually boxed, a legitimate boxer he got beat by, and that was in Tommy Fury. Now he stepped up to the plate. Does he really believe that he can beat Anthony Joshua at heavyweight? All right, he's put a restriction in there. Anthony Joshua can't be no heavier than 245 pounds. Well, the last time he boxed Alexander Usyk, which was not that long ago, he was 245 pounds. So I don't see that being a big problem.
But we know why he said yes to it. Gazillions.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know the bizarre thing here, Jim? That this will be financially and number-wise the biggest fight in boxing history.
Ever.
Viewed, the biggest viewed fight in boxing history ever, and there's been some great fights over time. That is insane, isn't it? And the highest paid fighters as well. What Jake Paul, they're an estimated 170 million pounds split between these two. But Jake Paul, is he really that deluded that he thinks he's going to go in there and beat Anthony Joshua?
Do you think he thinks he can do it, Simon? I don't know what he's not short and cut.
The commentary has only intensified the debate, leaving the boxing world sharply divided. Some see the matchup as a dangerous mismatch, while others give Jake Paul credit for daring to step up. And if Jake performs better than expected, the speculation and conspiracy theories are sure to explode. The reality, however, is straightforward. Jake Paul is stepping into the ring against a man who has him beat in size, skill, power, and experience. This is easily the boldest, most audacious move of Jake's career, and is fully aware of the risks. That willingness to face such a challenge is exactly what makes this fight so compelling.
I get it, right? If someone knocks on your door and says, "Do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million?" You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that 100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Well, why are you going to turn down 100 million? AJ should and could knock out Jake Paul in a round. Like if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think it would be a Southern Area Cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world that I still believe is a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Like AJ should be able to destroy him. AJ is going to be 60 pounds or so bigger than him. AJ hits like a truck. AJ is a better boxer. Like this is a no contest from the beginning.
Did you see Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is happening? Who you got and how? Man, you got to go with Anthony Joshua. You just got to go with Anthony Joshua on him. I think Anthony Joshua by knockout. Yeah, I think Jake will probably get knocked out in the third round.
Who did Terrence Crawford fight his 11th fight?
I don't know.
Who did Arthur Beterbiev fight? Jake Paul has found a way to make himself the cash cow early in his career to where we shouldn't care.
Jake Paul has become the fighter right now that everybody wants to fight because right now he is the cash cow. He made $40 million just off of Netflix.
He has found a way to do something with his following, get under people's skin to make people care about these fights.
It's the contradiction everyone in the fight world keeps pointing out. If Jake avoids real boxers, Dana laughs at him. If Jake actually steps in with a legitimate heavyweight, Dana still finds a way to tear him down. In Dana White's world, Jake Paul is wrong no matter what move he makes. Dana has also started floating the idea that the entire matchup might not be completely above board. He suggested that if Anthony Joshua doesn't wipe Jake out quickly, people should question whether something was arranged behind the scenes. According to Dana, the only way this fight adds up is if there's some kind of hidden advantage for Jake, because on paper there shouldn't be any scenario where he can genuinely compete with someone of Joshua's power and pedigree.
I don't know what he thinks, but what he does do is he markets himself in the space that he operates in. I don't get this Jake Paul or Logan Paul phenomenon, but I'm not the audience. It doesn't matter what I get. The opportunity for Netflix is that it's a drive to subscribe. They'll pay $100 million, and the wraparound fees that come from sponsorship and the event attendance. We saw that $20 million was generated in gate receipts for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. So we know this is a $160 million fight. We know that it makes sense for Netflix to do it because in the last fight that they had with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they developed 2 million new subscribers. The average lifetime value of a subscriber is $900. So if you look at that and say they're going to generate $2 billion in potential increased revenues as a result of paying these fighters $100 million, you can see the metrics of it. They're also retaining their base. They're also moving content into a different space, which is sport. So it all makes sense. It's like the mobile phone industry that I knew very well used to sell phones for nothing so people could get the airtime. And the airtime was where the money is. The content delivery is where the subscribers go to and then they pay their subscription. So we all understand the model. As far as the fight is concerned, oh no, don't be silly. I mean, Anthony Joshua can go in his nightgown and beat Jake Paul. The issue is, does he hurt Jake Paul? How curated it is? I debated it with boxers, with Paul Smith and Duke McKenzie and Spencer about would Joshua go in there with a mindset, which is he knows he doesn't have to get out of second gear, so he doesn't have to do to Jake Paul what people fear he might do, which is knock him into the next life.
But he's not a punch bag, Jake Paul.
Yeah, at this level is.
Well, he beat, albeit an aged Mike Tyson. He beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Mike Tyson, when we went out there to do that fight, and Simon gave me a lot of stick for it because I was saying Mike Tyson was actually going to put an end to this Jake Paul phenomenon that was going on. And when Mike Tyson got out the car, when we hit Texas, he climbed out the car and he could barely walk, Jim. He struggled to get up the stairs. I knew that I was in trouble for making those comments. I knew that. I sold the fight and I shouldn't have sold the fight. But this one, Anthony Joshua needs to keep his career alive. And by doing that, he has to get rid of Jake Paul very, very early.
What do you say to the people who say Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight?
Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world.
I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight?
It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake Paul.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
The truth. He had a past of many arrests and accusations, but everyone has a past. We accepted that. But when you bring the past into the presence with domestic violence, you are out period. The reality is Gervonta fumbled the biggest bag of his career and ruined a relationship with the biggest streaming platform in the world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix.
Dana White is under pressure because he never expected Jake Paul to reach this level. He never anticipated Jake gaining respect or forcing his way into the heavyweight boxing spotlight. Jake is showing that he's willing to fight anyone, and that defiance of expectation is something Dana can't ignore. For years, Dana promoted the idea that Jake Paul was a novelty act. But the moment Jake agreed to face a prime Anthony Joshua, that narrative started to crumble. Now the stakes are enormous. If Joshua dominates and knocks Jake out, it's expected. But if Jake survives, lands meaningful shots, or even claims a few rounds, it becomes a historic moment in modern boxing regardless of the outcome. The fight has captured the attention of the entire combat sports world. Jake Paul is taking a risk far beyond anything the UFC ever credited him for. And whether Dana likes it or not, this matchup is happening, and the world is watching every moment.